Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video and comment any of your questions. I have two questions from past videos to go through probably at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And if you do comment on this video, you will get your question or comment replied to in the next video. So if you can't tell, this is a different camera. It's nothing amazing, but it seems to be doing a pretty good job. And also we picked up the 6290 this morning, and we're going to put her to work right away. So we had a little bit of trouble with the PTO last fall. It wanted to disengage and whatever when you had it running. We're thinking we got that fixed, or they are pretty sure they got it fixed, so we'll see what happens today. But we're gonna go ahead and clean this barn out. So I ended up weaning these guys, and they're going to be a little loud for me, and they're probably angry because I shoved them all to that side. But we're going to scoop this out. We got a new group of does coming in to kit out here. So this side's going to get cleaned out. Eventually I'll get this side sooner than later. And then we need to, we'll divide this side in half, put the first group in the front, and I'm thinking we're just going to let the five does here from the last group are just going to run with the other ones. We're going to open that gate up, and they'll have the back half of this pen and this entire pen here. So, I got the goats over. Now we got to start pulling stuff out. The hut needs to come out. There's a lamp in there yet that needs to come out. I'll probably scoop in a ways, and we'll try and get this hay feeder pulled out of here. I'm gonna need the skid loader to raise it up, and so hopefully this camera works out. I didn't pay a lot for it, but it's got an external mic, and my little bit of testing this morning, it worked pretty good. I'm still kind of figuring out the microphone, so we'll see if it's got to be aimed towards me or if it can kind of just hang out. But all right, well let's start scooping. So that right there is why I do not like these hay feeders. Part of it's probably my problem. I usually start out cleaning that bottom out pretty good, but by a couple weeks in, it gets neglected, and then it packs in there, and then they lay in there, and I don't know. I'd rather have a flat manger where I could kick it up with my feet, or with a shovel or a fork, and I determine what they eat and what they don't eat, kind of thing. But I got to use what I got here, so. All right, well I didn't overload this too much. I think the tires, they probably all need air, but I'm not going to use it a whole lot. I think I'm just going to take it out back. Hopefully it's firm enough out there. And yeah, hopefully the spreader takes it. It really binds together, if you couldn't tell from the time lapse, and I try and shake it apart best I can, dumping it on the spreader, but I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm gonna spread it just out here. This is where we chopped off corn silage. So I'm running in about first gear right now. We're gonna kind of run pretty fast here because we don't want this stuff to lump too much. Gauge PTO, it's running. Give it a little speed. Gotta wait for it to get to the beaters. Well, must have been quite a space there. There it goes. So I try to run pretty fast spreading this stuff because we don't want it to make a huge pile in the field. Oh. That's concerning. So my PTO shut off again. I'm not sure. So I'm having trouble with the spreader, I think. I thought it was the tractor. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the tractor is working properly. This tractor's got some slip clutches in it or something, and if it ever gets overworked, it'll disengage the PTO, and it's just kind of a safety thing, you know. Well, the back end of the spreader's really jumbled up in there, so I'm going to take it up. I think I'm going to use the skid loader and just see if I can push some of that crap off the top, and then see if I can get those beaters to run. I was hoping there was a way I could disengage the floor and let the beaters run, and I think I did that, but it's not. I don't know. I sheared a pin. Actually 2 pins now, so I got to go out, put a new pin in, and see if I can get that running again, and then we keep going if everything keeps working. Otherwise, I don't know. This spreader is really old. We were trying to, I think we figured that my dad was in high school when they got this. So that would have been 30 some years ago. I don't know if that is or not. I believe that's what they figured out though, or guesstimated. So we're gonna go up and get her going again. All right. I gotta put this on there. Didn't quite drink it all. So, Well, we got one side of the barn cleaned out. I had a real problem. Really jammed up the spreader there. I got it worked out. I needed to use the skid loader a little bit, kind of push the material back off the beaters. I didn't hear from Dad. He's actually unloaded the spreader this last time, but I still think the PTO is kind of bugging out, where it just randomly will shut off. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things that it works when you're watching for it to shut off. It'll keep working, but when you're actually trying to do work, it'll shut off. So I don't really know what's going on there. So these guys are back here. I just weaned them off. Yesterday, we brought them back yesterday. So I haven't let them out yet. Let them outside. I think I'm gonna wait a couple days yet. I got two more to put in here. Once I get that barn cleaned out, we got to move some goats around. Then I got two more to bring back here, and then I'll try and get the outside ready and let them out. Then there's that little gate, that wooden piece of plywood gate thing there. That's actually a windbreak that comes off of that post there. That post there, it kind of angles just to block the wind a little bit. If the wind blows in there, that it's kind of a wind block. I got to get one more PVC feeder on there. They kind of just get moved around as I need. As far as the hay seems to be working pretty good. I threw a couple slabs up here, and we'll just let them pick it over. Probably tomorrow I'm going to start the baleage up again. I kind of been slacking on that past handful of days. Other than that, we'll start back on that other side tomorrow, I think, and we'll have the bed. I might pick up some lime tonight. I like to throw barn lime on the floor, so maybe do that, and we'll get that other side finished up. So we'll keep at her, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. So as long as I'm back here, I had a question 2 videos ago. He asked the question a little bit late when I had the next video put up, so this is 2 videos ago. Wisconsin farmer, it's got to be getting close to my top commenter here. So what is your process for working up a field? You mentioned that the field cultivator was the last touch before the planter, but what comes first? Well, you're looking at it, I guess. We hit most, I'm going to say 90% of our ground with the chisel plow. This is a 9-shank Kraus. Like I said, 90% of the ground will get hit with this first. So in the springtime, we'll usually hit it with the chisel plow, and then we'll hit it with the digger or the field cultivator, whatever you prefer to call it. I'm kind of in between now because everybody calls it a field cultivator. So chisel plow, digger. We also have a disc which gets used off and on. We used to do a lot of tillage in the fall, a lot of chisel plowing in the fall, and then you like to disc it, really beats up the lumps. We've done, actually this year, on our rented ground, because it was tougher ground, and if we would to chisel plow it, it would really make some lumps and really not a good seed bed. We actually hit it twice with the digger and planted it. Kind of hard to say because it was planted so late, and that corn up there did not do very good, but it was planted really late, and it's just, you know, it's hard to experiment with that. I like running the chisel plow. We run it over just about everything. Break up the compaction, really mix the soil. Primarily these two with the disc mixed in there from time to time. We got an Amco disc. I don't know where that is. I think it's all here in the field, but depends on the situation. And if we chisel plow and it doesn't look very good, sometimes we'll disc it or hit it twice with the digger. But it all depends on each situation. We would be considered probably a conventional tillage. Would I like to go to like a min-till or a no-till? I don't ever see going to a no-till. Maybe. I know it's hard to get started into, and you know, a lot of guys are going towards that, but we'll see, possibly in the future. But I don't know, it's hard to explain. I really do like running the chisel plow and the tillage and stuff like that, and planting into a nice seed bed. With the way we're running with the baling the stalks, it probably wouldn't be that hard to go no-till, because we'd be taking the stalks off most of our ground. But anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and I think I'll knock this into one video, so we'll get the rest of that barn cleaned out, possibly, we'll see, and go from there. So